problem set. The directions say use your centimeter cubes to build the figures pictured below. We don't have to do it on grid paper. Find the total volume of each figure you build and explain how you counted the cubic units. Be sure to include the units. Okay, so basically what we're doing, I'm going to change this. We are explaining how we did it. Now I'm going to explain to you how I do it, my thinking, and then you can take it from there. Okay. Figure A is just 1 cubic unit, or 1 centimeter cubed, 1 cubic centimeter. Those are all the ways to say it. Okay, how did I figure that out? I counted 1 cube. Okay, now for figure B, I want you to build it with your cubes. It's important that you do it both ways because it uses different parts of your brain. So once you're finished writing that, build figure B with your cubes. Now, build it now. Take your cubes and build figure B. You got it? Okay. How many, what's the volume of B?
5.
5 what?
5 centimeters.
How about 5 cubic centimeters? Let's say it like that, even though we're writing it the short way. Okay? Miguel, how did you figure that out? You just counted 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody count 3 and then 2?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
So those are both choices. I counted 3 and then 2. A lot of times I'll start with the base or the front of the figure and go from there. Okay, go ahead and build C. Okay, the volume of C. 9 what? Cubic centimeters. Awesome. I love the vocabulary. Okay, now, one person in block 2 said, well, I just took 3 columns of 3. That's what that person did in their mind. When I did it, I kind of did 3 levels.
Yeah.
Or layers of
3
3.
times 3.
You thought of 3 times 3. Okay, so whatever you thought of is what you write. I counted, actually I'm going to say instead of counted because I really think I did. I multiplied in my head real quick.
I add
Yeah, so I multiplied 3 layers of 3. That's what I did. And it doesn't have to, you don't have to write the same as me. Okay? Just however your thoughts were. Okay, now when you build D, be careful. There's a trick. And don't anybody shout it out. Okay? And if you can't see it very well on your paper, maybe you can look up here at mine and see it better.
Oh, I know
And if you're using a lap desk and you want to move to a table, that's your choice today. So you can write down the volume. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. Okay, so what's the volume of the figure D? 9 cubic centimeters. Okay, now when I did it, I'm just going to tell you what I did. I looked at the top and I said, oh, that's 4. And then I doubled 4, and then I added 1 more. You can write down however you did it, but that's how I did it when I first looked at it in block 1. Okay? So I'm going to put, I counted 4 on the top, then doubled it, then added one more. Some of you might have started with 5 on the bottom and then added 4, okay? Another way you could do this, when you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then add 4. Okay, I'm gonna go, let's build E now. Okay, so what do you get for E?
I counted,
Oh.
12 cubic.
12 cubic centimeters. And so for me, I'm just giving you what I did because there's several ways to do this. And I'll tell you what my teacher's book says too. But I looked at the front of 6 and I doubled it. Okay? So if that's what you did, write that. On the teacher's book, you know what they wrote? They looked at the end of 4 here and tripled it.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I
so-
did 6 times 2.
Well, so you kind of doubled it. You did it like I did. Okay, so you thought 6 times 2. I counted the front.
I counted the top.
I'm going to change that. Okay, and the top is a good choice too. I counted 6 in the front. And then go ahead and start building figure F when you're done with that. Okay, so how many did you get? 20 what? Cubic centimeters. I did the same thing. I counted 10 in the front and doubled it. However you solved it, write that down. Okay, you will need your cubes again, so don't put them back in the bag, but move them up out of your way. Because the first thing we're going to do on the back, actually you are going to need them right now. We're going to draw after we build.
Do we need more pencil?
No, you don't. Okay, it says build 2 different structures with the following volumes using your unit cubes. Then draw one of the figures on the dot paper. One example has been drawn for you. Okay, so the first one, you're going to need 4 cubes. I want you to make as many figures as you can using 4 cubes. Do that right now, and I'm going to pause it while you're working. So over here to the side, I want to do, and remember, go diagonal down to the right-hand corner of the paper, okay? But let's stack 4 cubes on top of each other. Okay. So I'm going to change it to blue, and I'm going to draw the width going back. So the red is first, the blue is second. Do the colors help a little bit? So now, green, I'm going to do the back side with green. So that's how you would draw 4 stacked up, okay? And this is just practice. If some of you are still working on this first one that I sort of did correctly, don't stress about it. You don't have to be that challenged if you don't want to be. Okay. So now let's look at 7 cubic units. I want you to take your cubes. Don't build a tower of 7 straight up. That's the only rule I'm making, okay? But take your cubes, and I'm going to pause it while you make figures with 7. Okay, so let's do the one Vaughn did that is 4 in a stack and then 3 in a stack. Okay, and if we have time, we'll draw another one. So I'm going to start got to start with red. Okay, I'm going to make 4 parallelograms. And I don't know if you remember or not, boys and girls, but yesterday I said keep your paper straight up and down in front of you, because that's the way my paper is up here on the board that you're copying from. So that will help. Okay. So the first thing, and then beside it, I'm going to do 3. So get the front on there first before you start drawing the depth or the width. Then the blue is your second set, your second step. And then connect it on the back side, and that's the green up here. Is this getting any easier? Let's make 8. Okay? So build 8. I know what I want you to draw for 8. I'll pause it while you're building. Okay, so for 8, let's practice doing 4 in the front and 4 in the back. So let's try that. It just makes one big cube. Okay? Now, instead of going 1 back this time, how far do I need to go? 2. That went a little better for me. Okay, so let's go down to number 3 once you have that drawn. And number 3, you need to build this figure right here out of your cubes. So build this figure that's on number 3, okay? You guys are getting really good at it. Okay, you don't have to tell me when you're done. Okay, it says, Joyce says that the figure below, made of 1 centimeter cubes, has a volume of 5 cubic centimeters. Explain her mistake. Okay, so there's a hidden cube underneath the top one, isn't there? Okay, so she forgot to add the hidden cube under the top one. Okay, Joyce, busy writing, forgot to add So what is the volume of this?
6 centimeter cubes.
Cubic centimeters. Okay, now the next one says imagine, so you don't get to build anything, you just imagine. Okay? So it says, imagine if Joyce adds the second layer so the cubes completely cover the first layer in the figure above. And don't shout it out. What would be the volume of the new structure? Explain how you know. So Abdiel, what would be the volume of the new structure?
10.
10, you're right. The volume would be 10 what?
Cubic centimeters.
How do you know?
Because
Because
when
you add 4 of them.
Let Abdiel.
when you like add the top row, you just add 4 and then
You add 4 more to what's already there. We already knew there was 6, so we would just add 4 more. When I figured it out, I thought about, okay, how big is that base? Remember the base is the bottom, okay? How big is the bottom?
5.
5, so I just doubled 5. But, you know, I like to double things, don't I? Okay? Let's explain it like Abiel said, okay? There were 6 cubes. In the first figure. And I added 4. More cubes. Okay, can you think of a multiplication sentence that it would explain what we did?
so
Now that's how I did it. So you're going to have to think about how I did it. What?
10. No, 5.
So 5 cubic centimeters
Times 2 cubic.
and just times
Oh.
2 equals 10 cubic centimeters. Go ahead and write that down. You might be asked on Zern to do a multiplication sentence, I'm not sure. Okay? So let's take a look at the exit ticket. All right, so this exit ticket, here's what I want you to write. You don't have to put the line, but you need blank centimeters cubed, blank centimeters cubed. At the bottom, not sure why they spread them out so much, but you need to do a figure with a volume of 3 cubic units on the dot pair. Just one. A figure means just one, okay? And that's worth 6 points. 6 total points. And put it on the shelf when you're finished.